If you have questions or suggestions for future podcasts, please submit them in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Imagine that! A Christian worldview case study. Hi, I'm Dave Arnott, the Christian Economist. When John Lennon sang, "Imagine no possessions," he added more to his possessions than any other song he possessed. Here's a Christian worldview analysis of that popular song, Imagine, by John Lennon, 1971. Imagine there is no heaven. Heaven and hell are the original representations of good and bad. If there's no good nor bad, how would we determine that the song Imagine is a good song and others are bad songs? See, if we cannot determine good from bad, how would we know which songs to listen to? And why would we listen to the song Imagine? It's easy if you try. No hell below us, above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. See, hold it. If John Lennon was really living for today, why did he record the song in 1971? And if we are living for today, taking his advice, why are we denying his command by listening to a song that he recorded in 1971? See? Okay, I am aware of the idea of mindfulness, and some of that's okay. But think about it. If you are really living for today, you are saying, I was taught in the past how to be in the present in the future. Confused? Me too. When were you taught to be mindful? Well, in the past. When are you going to be mindful? Answer, in the future. Why would a student living for today get out of bed and be in my 8 o'clock economics class at Dallas Baptist University? Do you think that during a break from recording the song Imagine, this might have occurred to someone? Do you suppose they all broke out laughing hysterically about spending the entire day investing themselves in the future by recording a song that instructs them to live for today? Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Well, if there are no countries, who would John Lennon turn to when he wanted to enforce his copyright to the song Imagine? Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. No religion. We tried that in John Lennon's lifetime. There was no religion in China when Chairman Mao's Cultural Revolution killed approximately 60 million people, mostly by redistributing food. That was between 1958 and 1961, just 10 years before John Lennon recorded the song Imagine. Well, another example, the Soviets had no religion, which allowed Joseph Stalin to kill an estimated 40 million of his own people, again, in John Lennon's lifetime. Maybe Lennon didn't read the newspapers. Here you go. In an interview conducted in September of 1980, 3 months before his death, Lennon told Playboy journalist David Sheff the following, quote, "People always get the image I was anti-Christ or anti-religion. I'm not. I'm a most religious fellow." Okay, if John Lennon did not follow his own advice, no religion, why should we? Imagine all the people living life in peace. The Christian worldview is captured in the 3-chapter gospel, meaning creation, fall, redemption. Some people see it as a 4-chapter gospel, adding restoration as the 4th. That is when Christ returns. And John Lennon will be correct. That is when all the people will live life in peace. I hold no disagreement with the 4-chapter gospel, but if we were all living life in peace, we would not need a song to encourage us to do so, and we would not listen to Imagine. Imagine that. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I suppose Lennon is right. A lot of people write, record, and listen to songs that make no sense. He's not the only one. By the way, that's why there are 2.2 billion Christians in the world, because the Christian worldview of creation, fall, redemption makes sense. That's the way the world is. Christians are not dreamers because our worldview fits reality. I hope someday you'll join us and the world will be as one. I agree with John Lennon. In restoration, the 4th part of the 4-chapter gospel, the fallen nature will be replaced by the rule of Christ on earth. But in the meantime, we live in a fallen world, so the world will not be as one. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. This may be the best line. By possessing the copyright to the song Imagine, John Lennon gained more possessions than for any song he possessed. Do you think there were howls of laughter among the recording crew? You have to wonder how Lennon sang this line without busting out laughing. No need for greed or hunger. Life is better now than at almost any time in history. Lennon's wish has almost come true in 2022. The New York Times ran an article way back in January 5th of 2019 titled, "Why 2018 was the best year in human history." It was written by a guy named Christoph. In the documentary film, The Pursuit, Arthur Brooks states 2 billion people have been pulled out of starvation-level poverty. What did that? The obvious answer is free market economies. Another example, The Great Escape by Nobel Prize-winning economist Angus Deaton explains how humans escaped thousands of years of destitution-level poverty. The first line of his book is something I said just a moment ago. Life is better now than at almost any time in history, says Angus Deaton. Another example, in his book Enlightenment Now, Steven Pinker in 2019 predicts the end of global poverty in his lifetime. A Brotherhood of Man, like Cain and Abel, that kind of brotherhood, because that is the kind you can expect in a fallen world. John Lennon did not understand the fall, but apparently he practiced it. The Beatles were only together 7 years, when in September of 1969, John Lennon told the group he was leaving. That kind of brotherhood. Economists Milton and Rose Friedman wrote, "The key insight of Adam Smith's Wealth of Nations is misleadingly simple. If an exchange between two parties is voluntary, it will not take place unless both believe they'll benefit from it. Most economic fallacies derive from the neglect of this simple insight, from the tendency to assume that there is a fixed pie, that one party can gain only at the expense of another," says Friedman and Friedman. I like to paraphrase them and say, most economic myths are based on the incorrect assumption of zero-sum economics. Now, Milton Friedman was an atheist, I'm a Christian. So I say that most economic myths stem from a denial of the fallen nature. Imagine all the people, sharing all the world. Well, if Lenin meant sharing free market capitalist ideas, he was right. But I think he meant sharing goods with one another. A volume of data shows that he was wrong. Just one example for now. U.S. President Lyndon B. Johnson declared a war on poverty in 1965. In the ensuing 50 years, an estimated $5 trillion was spent to keep the poverty level unchanged. So, quote, sharing all the world, end quote, does not improve people's economic condition. What does? Policies that promote production. For further reading on this topic, you might read the book When Helping Hurts by Corbett and Fickert, or Poverty, Inc. or The Poverty Cure by Michael Miller at the Acton Institute. There are many other publications that show how Lenin was wrong. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one. Lenin was right. It was a dream. When the many others who dream with him wake from their dreams, they will find what the rest of us know when we are awake. The free market encourages fallen people to serve one another. I'm Dave Arnott, the Christian Economist. Fear God, tell the truth, earn a profit. See you next time. For more information, please visit us online at davearnott.com. If you have questions or suggestions for future podcasts, please submit them online or in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.